Hey guys, so welcome back, and in today's video we are going to see how can we create such a theme card using HTML and CSS. So this is quite straightforward, so let's get started as fast as possible. So the very first thing I have is a blank style.css file and a blank index.html, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to link the CSS file to the document, and then let's create this. So I'm going to create a div with a class of theme, and inside the theme, I'm going to wrap this image inside a wrapper. I don't want to have the image standalone, so I'm just going to create a div with a class of image wrapper. Inside the image wrapper, let's create an image, and the image I'm going to use is a placeholder image. So go ahead and look for an avatar image and use. Otherwise, just use the same image I'm using. So you can use this placeholder website is called Pravata. And then, so it's i.pravata.cc / the width of the image you want and the image number. So you can go to 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 as you'd want. And then after that, I'm going to create a div with a class of details. Let me use details. And then inside the details, let's create a h3. The first one, the name will be Wesley. And then the paragraph text, we create a paragraph text which is like a tagline and say travel specialist. All right. So this is all the markup we do have for the HTML. So let's jump into the CSS and get started. So the font you can see here is called DM Sans. So to get the exact font, you just go to fonts.google.com and then look for DM Sans. So DM Sans, make sure you copy it, you click, go to the get font on the bottom, and then get embed code, and then make sure if you have other fonts you remove them. So we are left with DM Sans, and then go to the import and then import this style to your CSS file and paste it, just that, and then copy this font family. So we are going to add this font family to our body. So let's go to the body element, grab the body and say font. We have it on the clipboard, and then we specify the font as shows. The next thing, let's add the default CSS styles, which is margin 0, padding 0, and a box sizing of border box, just like that. And then let's go live and see what we have. So click go live, you'll see it shows there. So let's also make sure this card is in the middle. So we go to the body and say display flex, justify content to the center. All right, you can see it, and then you can see this content is too close to the edges. So to make sure it's not too close, we add some padding of 2 rem to the body, like that. And then let's create a CSS variable to hold our color, so the text color. So we can say dash text color will be hash 555. And then let's grab the theme, let's limit its width, let's limit the width to, let's do 300 pixels. All right, and then display flex here, because we want to give some gaps between the image wrapper and the details. So how we are going to do that is display flex direction of column, and then like that. And then we need to align these items to the center, so we can just do align items to the center. You can see now the items are to the center. The next thing, let's grab the image wrapper and give it some styles. So we give it the class of image wrapper. This is the image wrapper. So we can grab it and say dot image wrapper, and then the height, let's make the height something like 17 rem. We want to fix the height. You can see the text goes beneath because the image is overflowing. So let's capture the image by saying image wrapper, and then grab the image and then do a width of 100% and a height of 100%. Now you can see it fills that image wrapper div, and then an object fit of cover. The next thing is, let's go back to the image wrapper and add some border radius. So this border radius, you can play around with them but the one I found that was interesting was 25%. You can't see it is because the image is still overflowing over the image wrapper. So we can say overflow hidden. So everything that overflows away from my height and my width, then make sure it's hidden. And then you can see it shows up like that. Let's go back to the team and add some gap of maybe 0.5 rem. All right, you can see this text goes below. The next thing, let's grab the details. So the details is this div. You can see here, it's a details class div. It's a class with details and then a heading and the text. So we can just do dot details. And then let's display flex here as well. Flex direction of column. And then a gap of 0.3 rem. You can see the gap has been added. And then let's align the text to the center. So you can say text align center. This one will help if the text tries to overflow. And then finally, let's grab the details paragraph. So we can just do the details and then the paragraph inside the details. This is the paragraph. We want to make sure it's grayed out a little bit. So we can just do dot details and then a color. Let's use the variable color, text color. All right, you can see it's a bit folded. Then let's make sure its font size is a bit small. So we can say 0.8 rem. All right. And then I think let's add 0.85. That's okay. And then let's reduce its font weight to something like 300. So font weight 300. Right, guys, and that's it. And also the image, this image placeholder, you can change this to maybe 5. So you can get as many images as you'd like. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, follow, and share with your friends. Thank you.